What form of government has Indonesia maintained under its constitution since independence? Presidential democracy. Since gaining independence, Indonesia's governing system has been a presidential democracy. Under this system, the president is both the head of state and head of government, elected directly by the people, embodying a balance of power with a multi-party parliamentary structure. What is Indonesia's Sang Saka Merah Putih, the sacred red and white flag? Sang Saka Merah Putih, meaning the sacred red and white, is the national flag of Indonesia. The red stripe symbolizes courage and the physical life, while the white stripe represents purity and spiritual life, reflecting deep cultural and historical significance. Indonesia possesses the world's largest area of which type of coastal vegetation? Mangrove. Indonesia possesses the world's largest area of mangrove forests, covering approximately 3.3 million hectares. These critical ecosystems provide vital habitats for diverse marine life, protect coastlines from erosion and storms, and play a crucial role in carbon sequestration. What is Indonesia's international telephone country code? 62. The international dialing code for Indonesia is 62. This code is part of the E.164 standard, which assigns unique country calling codes for telecommunication networks worldwide. Which nation occupied most of modern Indonesia during the Second World War, 1942-45, effectively ending colonial rule? Japan. During World War II, Japan occupied most of modern Indonesia from 1942 to 1945, displacing Dutch colonial rule. This occupation significantly weakened the Dutch position and fueled Indonesian nationalist sentiments, ultimately paving the way for Indonesia's declaration of independence after Japan's surrender. Home to most of Indonesia's Hindu minority, what tourist haven is Indonesia's smallest province? Bali. Bali is a well-known Indonesian island and province, famous for its volcanic mountains, coral reefs, and sandy beaches. It is distinct for being the only Hindu-majority province in Indonesia, a nation predominantly Muslim. Gareng, baka, tumis, rebus, and kukus are major Indonesian cooking styles. Gareng, frying, baka, grilling, roasting, tumis, sautéing, rebus, boiling, and kukus, steaming, are fundamental cooking techniques in Indonesian cuisine. These methods are widely used across the archipelago, forming the basis for many popular dishes. The popular Indonesian sport pencak silat is a form of martial arts. Pencak silat is an umbrella term for a diverse group of indigenous martial arts from the Malay archipelago, including Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and Brunei. It is recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity for Indonesia, encompassing physical and spiritual aspects. Indonesia has the world's, what ranking, biggest national population? 4th. Indonesia holds the distinction of having the world's 4th largest population, after China, India, and the United States. Its large and diverse population contributes significantly to its economic and cultural landscape. The vast majority of Indonesian people adhere to what religion? Islam. Indonesia is home to the largest Muslim population in the world, with Islam being the dominant religion adhered to by the vast majority of its citizens. This religious demographic has profoundly shaped the country's social, political, and cultural identity. Bandung, Tangerang, Palembang, Semarang and Serang are popular Indonesian cities. Bandung, Tangerang, Palembang, Semarang, and Serang are prominent cities in Indonesia, each serving as significant economic, administrative, or cultural centers within their respective regions. Knowing major urban centers is crucial for understanding a country's geography and development. Depending on geographical interpretation, Indonesia comprises how many islands? 17,000 to 18,000. Indonesia is the world's largest archipelagic state, comprising between 17,000 and 18,000 islands, though the exact number can vary based on criteria for defining an island. This vast geography presents unique challenges and opportunities for governance, connectivity, and biodiversity. Gamelan is a major Indonesian style of music. Gamelan refers to a traditional ensemble music of Java and Bali in Indonesia, featuring metallophones, xylophones, drums, and gongs, and sometimes flutes and vocalists. It is deeply interwoven with Indonesian cultural identity, accompanying various ceremonies, dances, and theatrical performances. Which is the largest ethnic group of Indonesia, representing about 100 million people and 40% of the population? Javanese. The Javanese are the largest ethnic group in Indonesia, predominantly residing on the island of Java. Their rich cultural heritage has significantly influenced the broader Indonesian society. Which island does Indonesia share with Brunei and Malaysia? Borneo. Borneo is the third largest island globally and is politically divided among Indonesia, Kalimantan, Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak, and Brunei. It is renowned for its vast rainforests and exceptional biodiversity. Kelut and Merapi are among famous Indonesian formations in the Circum-Pacific Belt, or Ring of Fire. Volcanoes. Kelut and Merapi are prominent active volcanoes located in Indonesia, a nation situated along the Pacific Ring of Fire. This geographical belt is known for its high frequency of earthquakes and volcanic activity due to the movement of tectonic plates. According to biblical tradition, what came to rest on the mountains of Ararat, now located in eastern Turkey? Noah's Ark. According to the book of Genesis in the Bible, Noah's Ark landed on the mountains of Ararat after the Great Flood. Mount Ararat is a snow-capped dormant volcanic cone in eastern Turkey, near the border with Armenia. Recep Erdogan, Abdullah Gül, Bülent Ecevit, and Turgut Özal are notable Turkish prime ministers. These individuals are prominent political figures in modern Turkish history, several of whom have served as prime ministers or presidents of Turkey. Their political careers significantly shaped the nation's contemporary trajectory. The letters C and S in the Turkish alphabet feature which diacritical mark? Cedilla. The Turkish alphabet, a modified Latin-based script, incorporates diacritical marks like the cedilla, C, S, to represent specific phonemes. This mark indicates a palatalized pronunciation of the letters C and S, distinguishing them from their unmarked forms. In Turkish language and custom, what do teşekkür ederim and sağ olun mean? Thank you. Both teşekkür ederim and sağ olun are standard phrases in Turkish used to convey gratitude, translating to thank you in English. They are fundamental expressions for politeness and acknowledgement in Turkish social interactions. What is the ancient term for the region broadly equating to Asia Minor or modern-day Turkey, derived from ancient Greek meaning sunrise and east? Anatolia. Anatolia is an ancient geographical region that broadly corresponds to modern-day Turkey, deriving its name from the Greek word meaning sunrise or east. This strategically vital peninsula has been a cradle of numerous civilizations throughout history. What is Turkey's International Vehicle Registration Code, typically shown on vehicle registration plates? TR. The International Vehicle Registration Code for Turkey is TR. These standardized codes are assigned to countries by the United Nations and are displayed on motor vehicles to indicate their country of registration, especially during international travel. Kemalism, modern Turkey's foundational six-principle socio-political philosophy, is also called the Six Arrows. Kemalism is the founding ideology of the Republic of Turkey, introduced by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. Its six principles, republicanism, nationalism, populism, statism, secularism, and revolutionism, are symbolically represented as the six arrows and are central to modern Turkish identity and governance. Established in 1923, Cumhuriyet Halk Partisi is Turkey's oldest political party. The Cumhuriyet Halk Partisi, Republican People's Party, was established by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk in 1923. As Turkey's oldest political party, it played a pivotal role in the country's founding and continues to be a major political force, advocating for secular and nationalist principles. Invented by Haki Bekir Effendi at his Istanbul shop in 1777, what is the globally consumed lokum, more famously called Turkish Delight? Lokum, internationally known as Turkish Delight, is a family of confections based on a gel of starch and sugar. It was popularized by Haki Bekir Effendi in Istanbul in the late 18th century, becoming a significant part of Turkish culinary heritage and a popular global treat. In 1993, the Turkish economist and academic Tansu Penbey Silla became the country's first female prime minister. Tansu Penbey Silla made history in 1993 when she became Turkey's first female prime minister, serving until 1996. An economist and academic, her appointment marked a significant milestone for women in Turkish politics and governance. What is modern Turkey's capital city? Ankara. Ankara is the capital city of Turkey, located in the central Anatolia region. It was declared the capital in 1923, replacing Istanbul, during the early years of the Republic, symbolizing a new beginning for the nation. Which major airport in Istanbul is named after Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the founder and first president of the Republic of Turkey? Atatürk. Istanbul Atatürk Airport, prior to the opening of the new Istanbul Airport, was a major international gateway, named in honor of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. Atatürk is revered as the founder and first president of the Republic of Turkey, credited with modernizing the nation. A Turkish hammam, whose name derives from Arabic hamma, heat, is known in Western cultures alternatively as a Turkish what? Bath. A Turkish hammam, also known as a Turkish bath in Western cultures, is a traditional public bathing house originating from the Ottoman Empire. These establishments are significant for their social and ritualistic cleansing aspects, derived from ancient Roman and Byzantine bath traditions and Islamic ablutions. Eastern Thrace refers to which part of Turkey? European. Eastern Thrace refers to the portion of Turkey located geographically within Europe. It includes the city of Istanbul and forms the only part of Turkey and Asia that borders the European continent, making it a strategically important region. The famous medieval stone landmark in Turkey's largest city is the Galata what? Tower. The Galata Tower is a prominent medieval stone tower in Istanbul, Turkey's largest city. Built by the Genoese in 1348, it served as a watchtower and stronghold, offering panoramic views of the historic peninsula and the Bosphorus, and remains an iconic symbol of the city. Who are the second largest ethnic group in Turkey, comprising approximately 18% of the population? Kurds. The Kurds are an ethnic group indigenous to a region known as Kurdistan, which spans parts of southeastern Turkey, northern Iraq, northwestern Iran, and northern Syria. They represent the largest stateless ethnic group globally and constitute a significant minority within Turkey, often facing socio-political challenges. What is the currency of Turkey, comprising 100 kurus, which was first minted in the early 1400s as Ottoman money? Lira. The Turkish lira (TL) is the official currency of Turkey and the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, subdivided into 100 kurus. While the modern Republican lira was introduced in 1923, the term lira has historical roots as Ottoman currency dating back to the 15th century, highlighting a continuity in monetary nomenclature. The turkey bird, which was mistakenly named after the country Turkey, originated from which region? Mexico. The domestic turkey, Meligris galapavo, is a large game bird native to North America, with its origins traced back to Mexico. The misnomer, turkey, is believed to have arisen from an association with Turkish merchants who facilitated the trade of guinea fowl, a similar-looking bird, from Africa to Europe via Turkey. A sudden and profound life-changing revelation, derived from St. Saul's biblical vision of God during his journey, is referred to as the road to what city? Damascus. The idiom, road to Damascus, signifies a sudden and transformative change of mind, often a spiritual or ideological conversion. Its origin lies in the biblical account from the Acts of the Apostles, where Saul, initially a persecutor of Christians, experienced a vision of Jesus Christ on his journey to Damascus, leading to his conversion and subsequent identity as Paul the Apostle. Which social media platforms, including VK, vKontakte, Qzone, Orkut, and Xing, were considered international competitors of Facebook around 2014? Facebook. vKontakte, VK, Qzone, Orkut, and Xing were prominent social networking services that competed with Facebook in various international markets, particularly in regions like Russia, VK, China, Qzone, and Brazil, Orkut. Their rise in competition highlight the diverse global landscape of social media prior to the widespread dominance of a few major players. From Victorian times, the wings of blue morpho butterflies, known for their light-interfering microstructures, have been utilized in the creation of what item? Jewelry. The vibrant, iridescent blue color of the blue morpho butterfly wings is not due to pigment but to structural coloration, where microscopic scales interfere with light. This unique property has made their wings a sought-after material for decorative purposes, particularly in jewelry and artwork since the Victorian era. Which Brazilian city, noted in the early 2000s for possessing the world's longest beach garden, Latin America's busiest container port, and is the home of Pelé's renowned football club, is being referred to? Santos. Santos is a significant coastal city in Brazil, famous for its impressive 5.3 kilometers long beach garden, which holds a Guinness World Record. It also hosts the port of Santos, the largest and busiest container port in Latin America, playing a crucial role in the region's trade. Furthermore, it is historically recognized as the home of Santos FC, the football club where the legendary Pelé spent most of his illustrious career. What is an enlightening paradoxical anecdote with no solution, used in Zen Buddhism to illustrate shortcomings of logical reasoning? Koan. A koan is a paradoxical riddle or story used in Zen Buddhism to challenge a student's conventional logical reasoning and provoke enlightenment. It aims to transcend dualistic thinking and foster direct, intuitive understanding. In calculating the tax-exclusive component of a total which includes 20% tax, what should you multiply the tax-inclusive amount by? 0.8333. To find the tax-exclusive amount from a total that includes 20% tax, you divide the total by 1.20, representing 100% principal plus 20% tax. Dividing by 1.20 is equivalent to multiplying by approximately 0.8333. The region of Baltistan, also called Baltayul, in the Karakoram Mountains, south of K2, the world's second highest mountain, is in which country? Pakistan. Baltistan is a mountainous region located in Gilgit-Baltistan, Pakistan, forming part of the Karakoram mountain range. It is strategically significant due to its proximity to K2, the world's second highest peak, and its unique cultural heritage. Derived from the early Greek, orthentes, meaning lord or master, what titular term in Arab and East Mediterranean nations refers to a man of educated or high social standing? Efendi. Efendi is a Turkish loanword, originally from Greek, meaning master or lord. It was historically used as a title of respect and courtesy for educated men or government officials in the Ottoman Empire and parts of the Middle East. What type of snake is named after a huge serpent killed by the Greek god Apollo? Python. The snake genus Python is named after Python, a monstrous serpent in Greek mythology. According to legend, Python guarded the oracle at Delphi and was slain by the god Apollo. Huqiu, Tianqi, Baochong, Longjing, and Songluo are varieties of which Chinese product? Teas. Huqiu, Tianqi, Baochong, Longjing, Dragon Well, and Songluo are all renowned varieties of Chinese teas. These teas are celebrated for their distinctive flavors, aromas, and traditional processing methods, playing a significant role in Chinese culture and economy. The stylus of a late 1900s type record player, which tracks the groove of a vinyl disc, is traditionally made of what material? Diamond, sapphire. The stylus, or needle, of a record player is traditionally made of extremely hard materials like diamond or sapphire. Their exceptional hardness and durability allow them to precisely track the delicate grooves of a vinyl record without wearing down quickly. The koa tree, Acacia koa, is native and popular in which island group? Hawaii. The koa tree, Acacia koa, is endemic to the Hawaiian Islands, meaning it is found nowhere else naturally. It is highly valued in Hawaiian culture for its strong, beautiful wood used in traditional crafts and furniture, and plays an important role in the island's ecosystems. 24 Sussex Drive and Harrington Lake in Gatineau Park are the official prime ministerial residences of which nation? Canada. 24 Sussex Drive is the official residence of the Prime Minister of Canada, located in Ottawa, Ontario. Harrington Lake, also known as Lac Mousseau, serves as the Prime Minister's official country retreat and is situated in Gatineau Park, Quebec. In March 2014, the EU Parliament voted for what single European standard by 2017? Mobile phone chargers. In 2014, the European Parliament approved a directive aiming to establish a common charging standard for mobile devices by 2017. This initiative was primarily driven by the goals of reducing electronic waste and enhancing consumer convenience by eliminating the need for multiple chargers. Which modern-day item of clothing was worn at and named after the 1853-56 Crimean War battle, town, part of Sevastopol since 1957? Balaclava. The balaclava, a type of close-fitting headwear covering the whole head and neck except for parts of the face, gained its name during the Crimean War, 1853-1856. British troops wore knitted headgear to protect themselves from the severe cold during the Battle of Balaclava, a town now part of Sevastopol. The word gladiator derives from the Latin, Roman word for what? Sword. The term gladiator originates from the Latin word gladius, which means sword. Gladiators were armed combatants in ancient Rome who engaged in public spectacles by fighting each other or wild animals, often to the death, for the entertainment of audiences. In 2014, the British government reversed laws to report and eradicate which naturalized North American species, due to the aims being hopeless. Grey squirrel. The grey squirrel, Sierras carolinensis, is an invasive species introduced to the UK from North America, which has significantly impacted native red squirrel populations. In 2014, the British government acknowledged the impracticality of mandatory reporting and eradication efforts, reversing previous legislation due to the widespread establishment of the species. Who was judged the most famous person of all time by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, according to a 2014 study of international Wikipedia articles? Aristotle. Aristotle was an ancient Greek philosopher and polymath, a student of Plato and teacher of Alexander the Great. His vast writings covered physics, metaphysics, ethics, politics, rhetoric, and poetics, profoundly shaping Western intellectual tradition. In the 21st century, what is the approximate risk of death from flying by plane? 1 in 3 million. Commercial air travel is statistically one of the safest modes of transportation, significantly safer than driving a car. This low risk of death is attributed to stringent international safety regulations, advanced technology, and rigorous pilot training. Clarence Darrow, 1857–1938, was a famous American libertarian and what profession? Lawyer. Clarence Darrow was a renowned American lawyer and leading member of the American Civil Liberties Union. He gained fame for his eloquent defense in high-profile trials, including the Scopes, Monkey trial and the Leopold and Loeb murder case, advocating for civil liberties. How old is the earliest known fragment of Earth's crust, a zircon crystal discovered in Western Australia? 4.4 billion years. Zircon crystals are extremely durable minerals capable of preserving ancient geological information. This 4.4 billion-year-old zircon from the Jack Hills in Western Australia offers critical insights into the early formation of Earth's crust, indicating its relatively rapid development after the planet's accretion. Badenjaran, Gobi, Lop, and Taklamakan are major what geographical features in China? Deserts. These are prominent deserts located across various regions of China and Mongolia. The Gobi Desert is the largest in Asia, while the Taklamakan Desert is known for its extreme aridity, vast shifting sand dunes, and historical significance along the Silk Road. A Molotov cocktail, a homemade incendiary device, is named after a what? Russian statesman. The Molotov cocktail is an improvised incendiary weapon, often used in asymmetric warfare or civil unrest. It was sarcastically named by the Finns during the Winter War, 1939–1940, after Vyacheslav Molotov, the Soviet Minister of Foreign Affairs, who deceptively claimed Soviet bombing raids were humanitarian aid. The city of Memphis, Tennessee, USA, named in 1819, draws its name from the ancient capital city of which modern-day nation? Egypt. Memphis, Tennessee, was strategically founded on the Mississippi River, mirroring the importance of ancient Memphis on the Nile River in Egypt. The founders deliberately chose the name to evoke the historical grandeur and strategic significance of its ancient namesake, which was the capital of ancient Egypt. What function does the F1 key typically perform in most computer systems? Help. The F1 function key is almost universally designated across operating systems and software applications to access the help documentation. Pressing F1 typically launches a help window, redirects to an online support page, or opens an in-application guide, providing users with assistance. Lake Titicaca is the largest lake in which continent? South America. Lake Titicaca is situated in the Andes Mountains, straddling the border between Peru and Bolivia. It holds the distinction of being the largest lake in South America by both volume and surface area, and is also recognized as the world's highest navigable lake. A sequin originally, in Arabic, sikka, and later Italian zecca, referred to the production of coins. The term, sequin has an interesting etymological history, originating from the Arabic, sikka, meaning coin or die, and later from the Venetian, zecchino, a gold coin. This highlights the historical connection between ornamental elements and currency, often reflecting wealth and status. In botany, the tendrils of a plant are used mainly for clinging, support. Tendrils are specialized stem, leaf, or petiole structures found in climbing plants. They wrap around objects, providing crucial support for the plant to ascend and access sunlight, demonstrating an important adaptation for growth in various ecosystems. Ghara and kameez are a common combination of what in the Indian subcontinent? Clothing. Ghara and kameez are traditional forms of attire widely worn across the Indian subcontinent. A kameez is a tunic-like top, while a ghara is a pair of wide-legged trousers, often pleated below the knee. This combination is a significant part of the region's cultural heritage and fashion. A fathometer is an old genericized trademark for an instrument which measures water depth. A fathometer is a type of echo sounder used to measure the depth of water by transmitting sound waves and measuring the time it takes for the echo to return. It is crucial for navigation, hydrography, and marine research, playing a vital role in understanding underwater topography. In 2014, how many years ago was the year MDCCXIV? 300. MDCCXIV in Roman numerals translates to 1714, M equals 1000, DCC equals 700, 14 equals 14. To calculate the difference from 2014, subtract 1714 from 2014, which equals 300 years. This question tests knowledge of Roman numerals and basic arithmetic. What is the approximate length of a silk thread from a silkworm cocoon? Up to 900 meters. Silkworms, Bombyx mori, produce cocoons made of a single continuous silk thread, which can range from 300 to 900 meters in length. This long, strong, and lustrous fiber is extensively used in textile production. The Weber, WB, and Tesla, T, are standard international measurement units associated with which physical phenomenon? Magnetism. The Weber is the SI unit of magnetic flux, quantifying the total magnetic field passing through a given area. The Tesla is the SI unit of magnetic field strength, or magnetic flux density, representing the density of magnetic field lines. The abbreviation, Xmas, for Christmas originates from which linguistic root? The Greek letter, chi, X, representing Christ. The X in Xmas is derived from the Greek letter, chi, which is the first letter of the Greek word for Christ, Christos. This usage dates back to the 16th century, providing a shorthand for the religious holiday. Which historic English town, associated with music festivals, is also famously linked to Arthurian legends, including being the supposed burial site of King Arthur and Queen Guinevere, and a possible hiding place of the Holy Grail? Glastonbury. Glastonbury, a town in Somerset, England, is renowned for its rich mythology, particularly its connections to the Arthurian legends. Glastonbury Abbey, a significant medieval monastery, was purportedly where King Arthur and Guinevere were buried, and the town is also a site often associated with the Holy Grail. What is the sum of the first 10 consecutive prime numbers beginning with 13? 300. The first 10 consecutive prime numbers starting from 13 are 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, and 47. Summing these numbers, 13 plus 17 plus 19 plus 23 plus 29 plus 31 plus 37 plus 41 plus 43 plus 47, yields a total of 300. In Jewish culture, what does Yahrzeit commemorate? The anniversary of a person's death. Yahrzeit is a Yiddish word meaning a year's time. In Jewish tradition, it refers to the annual anniversary of the passing of a close relative, observed through specific prayers, lighting a memorial candle, and charitable acts. Which religion is primarily represented by the sacred Om symbol? Hinduism. The Om or Am symbol is one of the most important and sacred symbols in Hinduism, often chanted at the beginning and end of Hindu prayers and rituals. It represents the sound of the universe, encompassing creation, preservation, and dissolution, and is also significant in other dharmic religions like Buddhism and Jainism. What is the highest recorded bird strike by an aircraft? A vulture. Bird strikes pose a significant safety hazard in aviation, often leading to aircraft damage or even accidents. Vultures, known for their large size in high-altitude flight, represent a particularly dangerous type of bird strike risk. Hawaiian, Strombolian, Pelion, phreatomagmatic, and submarine are types of what? Volcanic eruptions. These terms categorize volcanic eruptions based on their explosivity, magma composition, and interaction with water. Understanding these distinct types is fundamental to geology and helps predict the potential hazards associated with volcanic activity. Which U.S. office equipment corporation, known for its branded photocopying technology, renamed itself in 1961 from Greek meaning dry? Xerox. Originally named Haloid Photographic Company, the corporation rebranded itself as Xerox in 1961, taking its name from the groundbreaking xerography process. Xerox is derived from the Greek word xeros, meaning dry, referring to the dry photocopying method. Approximately how many different colors can a normal human eye distinguish? 10 million. The human visual system, with its 3 types of cone cells sensitive to different wavelengths of light, is capable of perceiving a vast spectrum of colors. This remarkable ability allows for the distinction of an estimated 10 million distinct hues, contributing to our rich perception of the world. Nociceptive, neuropathic, phantom, psychogenic, and incident are types of what? Pain. These classifications describe different categories of pain based on their underlying mechanisms, location, and psychological factors. Accurate differentiation of these pain types is crucial for effective medical diagnosis and targeted treatment strategies. In psychology, how do the Pygmalion effect, positive, and its opposite, the Golem effect, negative, influence people? Expectation. The Pygmalion effect highlights how high expectations can lead to improved performance, while the Golem effect demonstrates that low expectations can result in decreased performance. Both phenomena illustrate the profound impact of perceived or stated expectations on individuals' behavior and outcomes. The solar plant, Iscanomani aspera, from India, South Asia is used to make what famous headwear? Pith helmet. The pith helmet, a lightweight and protective form of headgear, is traditionally crafted from the soft, spongy pith of the solar plant, native to India and Southeast Asia. This material makes the helmet ideal for providing insulation and protection in hot and humid climates. The informal German military term, Sitzkrieg, refers to what feature of war? Pause. Sitzkrieg, meaning sitting war, or phony war, refers to the period during World War II between the German invasion of Poland, September 1939, and the Battle of France, May 1940. During this time, there was very little actual combat on the Western Front, leading to a standstill in military operations. What Internet vulnerability, bug, was announced, in April 2014, to have existed in 17% of the world's web servers since end 2011? Heartbleed. Heartbleed was a critical vulnerability in the OpenSSL cryptographic software library, widely used to implement the Transport Layer Security (TLS) protocol. Discovered in April 2014, it allowed attackers to read the memory of systems protected by vulnerable OpenSSL versions, potentially exposing sensitive data like usernames, passwords, and encryption keys. What are generally regarded to be the 4 precious stones? Ruby, sapphire, emerald, diamond. The 4 generally recognized precious stones are diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. These gemstones are highly valued for their beauty, rarity, and durability, often used in fine jewelry and as investments. The society persuasion theory adopted by US and UK governments based on the 2008 Thaler and Sunstein book of the same name is called nudge. The nudge theory is a concept from behavioral economics and political theory which proposes that positive reinforcement and indirect suggestions can influence decision-making by groups or individuals. Based on the 2008 book, Nudge, Improving Decisions About Health, Wealth, and Happiness, by Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein, it has been influential in shaping public policy in several countries, including the US and UK. What is the technical genus category of lemons, oranges, limes? Citrus. Lemons, oranges, and limes all belong to the genus Citrus. This genus is part of the flowering plant family Rutaceae, known for its fragrant fruits with leathery rinds and juicy pulp, commonly grown in tropical and subtropical regions. Simnel refers to a traditional Easter, what, originating in medieval England? Cake. A simnel cake is a light fruit cake, traditionally eaten during the Easter season in the United Kingdom, Ireland, and some other countries. Originating in medieval England, it is characterized by a layer of marzipan on top and often decorated with 11 marzipan balls, representing the 12 apostles minus Judas. A codicil is a supplementary text which alters what sort of legal document? Will. A codicil is a legal document that modifies or adds to an existing will. It allows for changes to be made without rewriting the entire will, provided it is properly executed with the same legal formalities as the original will. A 14-year ban, for mental health reasons, on what was lifted, experimentally, by China in 2014. Gaming consoles. In 2014, China experimentally lifted a 14-year ban on the sale of foreign gaming consoles, which had been imposed in 2000 citing concerns over the physical and mental health of young people. This move opened up the world's largest gaming market to international console manufacturers like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. Popular in Indian subcontinental cuisine, gram flour is made from chickpeas. Gram flour, also known as besan, is a flour made from ground chickpeas, Bengal gram. It is a staple ingredient in Indian subcontinental cuisine, used in various dishes like pakoras, curries, and sweets, and is valued for its nutritional content, including protein and fiber. The official logos for organic product certification in the EU, Japan, Australia and Canada all feature leaf. Many international organic certification logos, including those for the EU, Japan, Australia, and Canada, prominently feature a leaf motif. This symbol universally represents nature, growth, and environmentally friendly practices, signifying adherence to organic farming and production standards. German physician Franz Mesmer's (1734–1815) animal magnetism theory is considered foundational in the development of hypnosis. Franz Mesmer, an 18th-century German physician, proposed the theory of animal magnetism, believing an invisible natural force was transferable between living things. While his theory was scientifically discredited, his practices laid the groundwork for the development of hypnosis, influencing early studies in psychotherapy and mind-body connections. Derived from ecclesiastical Latin, the term genuflection refers to bending which part of the body? knee. Genuflection or genuflection is a gesture of reverence or worship that involves bending one's knee, typically the right knee, to the ground. The term is derived from ecclesiastical Latin, specifically genu, knee, and flectere, to bend, highlighting its historical association with religious ceremonies and formal respect. The Old Lady of Threadneedle Street is a nickname for the Bank of England. The Old Lady of Threadneedle Street is a famous nickname for the Bank of England, referring to its historical location on Threadneedle Street in the City of London. The nickname originated from a cartoon by James Gilray in 1797 and has since become synonymous with the central bank, symbolizing its venerable status and enduring influence on the British economy. What popular East Asian food means bean curdled? Tofu. Tofu, a popular food staple in East Asian cuisines, is made from coagulated soy milk, pressed into solid white blocks. Its name is derived from the Chinese words dao, bean, and fu, curdled or fermented, literally meaning bean curd, accurately describing its production process and primary ingredient. How many states variations are possible in a single 7-segment electronic, digital numeral display, as used in calculators, etc.? 128. A 7-segment display uses 7 individual LED segments to form numerical digits. Since each segment can either be on or off 2 states, the total number of possible combinations or states for a single 7-segment display is 2 to the power of 7, which equals 128. This allows for displaying all digits 0 to 9 and various other symbols. What form of breadcrumb fried food, often containing mashed potato, is named from French to crunch? Croquette. A croquette is a small, breadcrumbed, and deep-fried food roll, often containing mashed potatoes or ground meat, fish, or vegetables. The name, croquette, is derived from the French verb, croquer, which means to crunch, referring to the crispy texture of its outer coating. Taja Halone, Mariti Atisari, and Mono Koivisto have been presidents of Suomi, known in Western languages as which country? Finland. Finland, officially the Republic of Finland, is a Nordic country located in Northern Europe. Suomi is the Finnish name for Finland, and it has had notable presidents like Martti Ahtisaari, a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Which European territory became the last to decriminalize sex between men in 2014? Northern Cyprus. In 2014, Northern Cyprus decriminalized sex between men, repealing a law that had been in effect since the British colonial era. This legislative change was a significant step towards legal equality for LGBTQ+ individuals in the region. Which vast internet corporation, handling approximately 80% of China's online shopping in the 2010s, was founded by Chinese technology entrepreneur Jack Ma? Alibaba. Jack Ma co-founded the Alibaba Group in 1999, which grew into one of the world's largest e-commerce and technology conglomerates. It revolutionized online retail in China and expanded into various sectors including finance and cloud computing. Colombian Gabriel Garcia Marquez, 1927–2014, and Chilean Pablo Neruda, 1904–73, are famous South American figures primarily known for what profession? Writers. Gabriel Garcia Marquez was a Nobel Prize-winning Colombian novelist and short story writer, celebrated for his magical realism. Pablo Neruda was a Nobel Prize-winning Chilean poet-diplomat, known for his politically charged and romantic poetry. Both are considered giants of 20th-century Latin American literature. Which common vegetable originates from a cross between a cabbage and a turnip? Swede, rutabaga. The rutabaga, also known as swede, is a root vegetable resulting from a hybrid cross between a cabbage, Brassica oleracea, and a turnip, Brassica rapa. It is cultivated for its edible, starchy root, which is a staple in many cuisines. DNA analysis of a 7,000-year-old cave-dwelling human skeleton from North Spain revealed what surprising genetic feature? Blue eyes. DNA analysis of a 7,000-year-old skeleton, known as La Brana 1, from Spain, indicated that early European hunter-gatherers had dark skin and blue eyes. This finding challenged previous assumptions about the timeline of skin and eye pigmentation evolution in Europe. What is the Western name of the least densely populated country in the world, whose national language is Kalalit Nanath, and capital city is Nuuk? Greenland. Greenland, known as Kalalit Nunath in its native language, is the world's largest island and an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark. Its capital is Nuuk, and it holds the distinction of being the least densely populated territory globally, due to its vast, ice-covered landscape. Alluding to a ridged cloth, a temporary vehicle track built over bogland on a foundation of perpendicularly laid logs is called a, what, road? Corduroy. A corduroy road is a type of road or track constructed by placing logs or timbers transversely across a path, especially over boggy or soft ground. This technique creates a stable, albeit bumpy, surface for passage, reminiscent of the texture of corduroy fabric. Stadium, French's, Handelmeier, and Mai produce what condiment, commonly derived from the Sinapis alba and Brassica juncta plants? Mustard. Mustard is a popular condiment made from the crushed seeds of mustard plants, primarily *Sinapis alba, white mustard, and Brassica juncta brown mustard. These plants belong to the Brassicaceae family, and their seeds are processed to create various types of mustard, known for their pungent flavor. The creamy cherimoya or chirimoya fruit, with its soft cactus-like skin, is also known as the, what, apple. Custard. The cherimoya, Annona cherimola is a subtropical fruit native to the Andean highlands of South America. It is commonly referred to as the custard apple, due to its exceptionally creamy, custard-like flesh and sweet, aromatic flavor. The ancient Greek portmanteau word, necropolis, refers to cemetery. The term, necropolis, is derived from the ancient Greek words, nekros, dead, and polis, city, literally translating to city of the dead. It denotes a large, elaborate cemetery or burial ground, often associated with ancient civilizations or historical sites. Anaximandra, c. 600 to 550 BC, Tabula Rogeriana, 1154, Walsimala, 1507, and Mercator, 1569, are notable examples of what? World maps. These names represent pivotal developments in the history of cartography. Anaximandra is credited with one of the earliest known world maps, while the Tabula Rogeriana * was a highly influential medieval Islamic map. The Walsimala map was the first to explicitly name America, and Mercator's projection revolutionized navigation. Which major African institution operates the website www.cbn.gov.ng? Central Bank of Nigeria. The website www.cbn.gov.ng belongs to the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, which serves as the apex monetary authority of Nigeria. Established in 1958, the CBN is responsible for maintaining monetary stability, issuing currency, and managing the country's external reserves. What medieval defensive feature is named from the French for sliding door? Portcullis. A portcullis is a heavy, vertically closing gate, typically constructed from wood and iron, used as a primary defensive mechanism in medieval castles and fortifications. Its name originates from the Old French, porte-colis, meaning sliding door, which accurately describes its operational mechanism. Agulhas, Kuroshio, Benguela, Canary, and Humboldt are examples of what geographical phenomenon? Ocean currents. These are well-known ocean currents, which are continuous, directed movements of seawater driven by various forces like wind, the Coriolis effect, and differences in temperature and salinity. Ocean currents play a crucial role in redistributing heat across the globe and influencing regional climates. Technically, the avocado, which is the fruit of the avocado tree, is classified as a berry. The avocado is botanically classified as a large, single-seeded berry, despite often being used culinarily as a vegetable. This classification is based on its fleshy pericarp and a single seed, distinguishing it from other fruit types. The medical vasodilatory compound and recreational drug C5H11ONO is more commonly known as amyl nitrite. Amyl nitrite is an organic compound with the chemical formula C5H11ONO. It functions as a vasodilator, meaning it widens blood vessels, and is used medically for heart conditions, but also widely known as a recreational inhalant. Crepuscular creatures are primarily active during what time of day? Twilight. Crepuscular animals are those that are predominantly active during twilight hours, specifically at dusk and dawn. This activity pattern differs from nocturnal, nighttime, and diurnal, daytime, behaviors, offering advantages in terms of predation and temperature regulation. What high-quality, gravity, capillary-fed writing implement was traditionally tipped with ruby or gold, and is now typically tipped with iridium or stainless steel? Fountain pen. A fountain pen is a sophisticated writing instrument that utilizes a metal nib to deliver water-based ink onto paper, using a combination of gravity and capillary action. Modern fountain pen nibs are often tipped with durable materials like iridium or stainless steel for longevity and smooth writing. The first almanacs, developed in Babylon, Iraq around 750 BC, originally listed what information? Planetary movements. The earliest known almanacs originated in ancient Babylon around 750 BCE and were primarily astronomical records. These ancient texts meticulously documented planetary movements, eclipses, and other celestial phenomena, which were crucial for agricultural planning and religious observances. What common mineral, technically known as silica or CO2, derives its name from the Old Polish German, kłady, meaning hard? Quartz. Quartz is one of the most abundant minerals found in the Earth's continental crust, chemically composed of silicon dioxide, CO2. Its name is believed to originate from the Old Polish German word, kłady, meaning hard, reflecting its characteristic durability and high hardness on the Mohs scale. AgustaWestland, Bell, Oberon-Prum, and Sikorsky are notable manufacturers of what type of aircraft? Helicopters. AgustaWestland, now part of Leonardo, Bell Textron, Oberon-Prum, which includes Russian helicopters, and Sikorsky are leading global manufacturers. These companies specialize in the design, development, and production of a wide range of helicopters for both military and civilian applications. When and where did the Baroque art style originate? 17th century Rome. The Baroque style, characterized by its dramatic, ornate, and highly detailed aesthetics, emerged in Rome in the early 17th century. It quickly spread across Europe, influencing various art forms including architecture, sculpture, painting, literature, dance, and music. What did Danish researchers identify in 2014 as a significant factor contributing to reduced sperm count in modern men? Household chemicals. Research from Denmark in 2014 highlighted the adverse impact of certain household chemicals on male reproductive health, specifically linking them to a decline in sperm count. This finding contributes to the ongoing scientific understanding of environmental factors affecting human fertility. From which material have wine barrels most commonly been constructed since Roman times? Oak. Oak has been the preferred material for constructing wine barrels since ancient Roman times due to its strength, impermeability, and ability to impart desirable flavors and aromas to wine during aging. The wood contributes notes of vanilla, spice, and toast, enhancing the wine's complexity. What is the common anatomical term for the human body's axilla or oxter? Armpit. The axilla, also known as the armpit or underarm, is the area on the human body directly under the joint where the arm connects to the shoulder. It is an important anatomical region containing blood vessels, nerves, lymph nodes, and sweat glands. What is the English translation of the Nazi exclamation, Sieg Heil? Hail Victory. Sieg Heil was a German phrase used as a Nazi salute during the Third Reich era, translating to Hail Victory. It was a prominent chant at political rallies and demonstrations, symbolizing allegiance to the Nazi Party and its ideology. Which tree and its resin, whose name originates from the Greek word for chew, influenced the development of chewing gum and various industrial sealants? Mastic tree. The mastic tree, Pistacia lentiscus, produces a resin called mastic, traditionally chewed for its medicinal properties and refreshing flavor, which inspired the development of modern chewing gum. Its adhesive qualities also made it valuable in various industrial sealant applications. The terms bush, standard, pyramid, spindle bush, cordon, fan, espalier, and step-over espalier refer to technical formats used in which agricultural practice? Fruit farming. These terms describe various training and pruning systems employed in fruit farming to optimize fruit production, manage tree growth, and improve fruit quality. Each method, such as cordon or espalier, dictates a specific shape and structure for fruit trees or bushes. Pravachol, Lipitor, Mevakar, Altoca, and Zoka are brands of what multi-billion-dollar cholesterol-controlling drug, ultimately named after the Greek meaning, causing to stand. Statin. Statins are a class of drugs widely prescribed to lower cholesterol levels by inhibiting the enzyme HMG-CoA reductase, crucial for cholesterol production in the liver. They are essential in preventing cardiovascular diseases like heart attacks and strokes. Copacabana district and beach in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, is named after what? A Bolivian virgin saint. The famous Copacabana beach and district in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, derives its name from the Virgin de Copacabana, the patron saint of Bolivia. The name traces back to the Aymara language, referring to a sacred stone or a view of the lake. The occupational surname Chamberlain originally referred to what role? A household manager. The surname Chamberlain originates from an Old French word referring to an officer who managed the private chambers and household of a monarch or nobleman. This position was historically powerful, involving financial and administrative responsibilities within the royal or aristocratic household. Sienna, ochre, and umber are shades of which color? Brown. Sienna, ochre, and umber are natural earth pigments that have been used in art since prehistoric times. Their varying brown and yellowish-brown hues are derived from different iron oxides and manganese oxides found in clay deposits. Which human liquid is 99.5% water and 0.5% electrolytes, mucus, glycoproteins, enzymes, and antibacterial compounds such as agar and lysozyme? Saliva. Saliva is an essential bodily fluid secreted by salivary glands in the mouth. It is primarily composed of water but also contains electrolytes, mucus, enzymes, like amylase, and antibacterial compounds such as agar and lysozyme, which aid in digestion, lubrication, and defense against pathogens. In the ancient concept of the four humors, what mood was asserted to be produced by phlegm in the body? Calmness. The ancient theory of the four humors, originating from Hippocrates and later developed by Galen, proposed that human health and temperament were governed by the balance of four bodily fluids. An abundance of phlegm was associated with a phlegmatic temperament, characterized by calmness, sluggishness, and rationality. In the 1800s, what was a spatterdash? A shoe attachment. A spatterdash, also known as a gaiter or spat, was a protective covering for the ankle and lower leg, popular in the 18th and 19th centuries. Worn over shoes or boots, its primary purpose was to protect the wearer's clothing from mud and dirt while walking outdoors. What are onari, hijiki, kombu, nori, and wakame? Edible Japanese seaweeds. These are common types of edible marine algae, widely consumed in East Asian cuisines, particularly Japanese. They are rich in minerals and vitamins, forming a significant part of traditional diets and are often used in soups, salads, and as seasonings. Which famous newspaper displays the motto, "All the news that's fit to print," and is known as the Grey Lady due to its traditional dominance of copy over graphics? The New York Times. The New York Times, founded in 1851, is an internationally renowned American newspaper. Its motto reflects its commitment to comprehensive and credible reporting, earning it the nickname, the Grey Lady, for its classic, text-heavy layout. The meat substitute product corn is made from what? Fungus. Corn is a popular brand of meat substitute primarily made from mycoprotein, which is a protein-rich fungus, specifically Fusarium venenatum. It serves as a sustainable and vegetarian alternative to meat, providing a complete protein source with a low fat content. What is the Italian underworld concept of omertà in relation to state authority, police? Non-cooperation. Omertà is a code of silence and honor, historically prevalent in the mafia and other organized crime syndicates in southern Italy. It dictates strict non-cooperation with state authorities, including refusing to provide information to the police or judiciary, even if one is a victim of a crime. In chemistry, what is a hypothetical substance whose molecules occupy negligible space and have no interactions called? Ideal gas. An ideal gas is a theoretical gas composed of randomly moving point particles that do not interact with each other and occupy negligible volume. This model simplifies gas behavior, making it easier to study under various conditions, though no real gas is perfectly ideal. Name the 5 different nations, territories that are within, or partly within, the Iberian Peninsula. Spain, Portugal, Andorra, France, Gibraltar. The Iberian Peninsula, located in southwestern Europe, is primarily occupied by the sovereign states of Spain and Portugal. Additionally, it encompasses the Principality of Andorra, a small portion of southwestern France, and the British Overseas Territory of Gibraltar, all sharing its geographical confines. From which part of the plant is the condiment wasabi generally derived? Root. Wasabi, Wasabia japonica or Eutrema japonicum, is a pungent green condiment primarily used in Japanese cuisine. The part of the plant commonly grated and consumed as wasabi is the rhizome, which is an underground stem, often mistaken for a root due to its appearance and function. In metal processing, what specific technique is a foundry primarily involved in? Casting. A foundry is a factory that produces metal castings. In this process, metals are melted in a furnace, poured into a mold, and allowed to solidify to form a specific shape. Casting is a fundamental manufacturing process used to create complex metal components for various industries. For what primary purpose was the Taj Mahal in India constructed? A tomb. The Taj Mahal, located in Agra, India, is an ivory white marble mausoleum. It was commissioned in 1632 by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan to house the tomb of his favorite wife, Mumtaz Mahal. It stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a globally recognized symbol of India's rich cultural and architectural heritage. Which European nation has the highest capital city, with the nation and capital sharing almost identical names? Andorra. The capital city of Andorra is Andorra la Vella, which translates to Andorra the Old. Situated in the eastern Pyrenees Mountains between France and Spain, Andorra la Vella is notable for being the highest capital city in Europe, with an elevation of 1,023 meters, 3,356 feet above sea level. Which iconic Indian car, produced almost unchanged from 1958 to 2014 and often used as a taxi, was based on a 1950s Morris Oxford? Ambassador. The Hindustan Ambassador was an automobile manufactured by Hindustan Motors of India, produced from 1958 to 2014. Based on the Morris Oxford Series 3, it was considered a status symbol in India for decades and became an iconic yellow and black taxi, especially in major cities, reflecting a significant part of India's industrial and cultural history. Sipe, bead, wear bar, and rain groove are components found on what widely sold friction-reducing item, originally devised in the 1880s? Tire. A tire, or tire, is a ring-shaped component that surrounds a wheel's rim to transfer a vehicle's load from the axle to the ground and provide traction. Key components like sipes, beads, wear bars, and rain grooves are critical for its function, providing grip, structural integrity, and water dispersion, significantly enhancing vehicle safety and performance. When testing his sound equipment inventions, including the first ever recording, on phonograph cylinder in 1878, what did Thomas Edison often recite? Mary had a little lamb. Thomas Edison, a prolific American inventor, recorded, "Mary had a little lamb," on his newly invented phonograph in 1877. This event marked the world's first successful sound recording, revolutionizing communication and entertainment and laying the groundwork for the modern music industry. What notable title did Narendra Modi achieve in May 2014? Prime Minister of India. Narendra Modi assumed the office of Prime Minister of India in May 2014, leading the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, to a decisive victory in the general elections. He has since been re-elected for a second term in 2019, making him a significant figure in contemporary Indian politics and governance. What highly stigmatized human disease is alternatively named after Norwegian physician G. H. Amager Hansen, who in 1873 discovered its causal bacterium? Leprosy. Leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease, is a chronic infectious disease caused by the bacterium Mycobacterium leprae. Norwegian physician Gerhard Henrik Amager Hansen discovered the bacterium in 1873, marking a crucial step in understanding and combating the disease. What is Naraka in many Asian and Eastern beliefs? Hell. Naraka is a term found in various Eastern religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, referring to realms of suffering or hell-like states. It signifies a place of punishment for unwholesome actions, analogous to the concept of hell in Abrahamic religions. Research in 2014 indicated higher casualty rates from female-named hurricanes compared to male-named ones, attributed to victims' complacency. Which natural phenomenon is being referred to? Hurricanes. A 2014 study from the University of Illinois found that hurricanes assigned female names historically resulted in more fatalities due to a subconscious perception of them being less threatening. This research highlighted how gender stereotyping can influence human response and preparedness in the face of natural disasters. What distinctive feature does the Arctic Ocean narwhale possess, which is unusual for a whale? 1. Long, straight, spiral tusk. The narwhal, often called the unicorn of the sea, is known for its single, prominent tusk, which can grow up to 10 feet long. This tusk is actually an elongated canine tooth, predominantly found in males, and is believed to play a role in sensing the environment, navigating, and possibly in mating rituals. Which historical region, located in present-day northeastern Germany and northern Poland, means by the coast, and lent its name to various local animal breeds? Pomerania. Pomerania is a historical region situated along the southern coast of the Baltic Sea, spanning parts of modern-day Germany and Poland. Its name, derived from Slavic, means by the sea or on the sea. The region is notably recognized for originating several distinctive animal breeds, including the Pomeranian dog, Pomeranian goose, and Pomeranian Cotswold sheep. How is cumulus humilis commonly described in meteorology? Fair weather cloud. Cumulus humilis is a type of cumulus cloud characterized by its flat base and small, cotton-like appearance with limited vertical development. These clouds typically indicate stable atmospheric conditions and are commonly associated with fair and clear weather. What is the nature of zircon, zirconium silicate, a convincing diamond substitute? Naturally occurring in rock. Zircon, zirconium silicate, is a naturally occurring mineral found in various types of igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary rocks. It is prized for its brilliance and dispersion, making it a popular and convincing natural substitute for diamonds in jewelry, though it is distinct from cubic zirconia, a synthetic material. Who wrote, "This be the verse," famously starting, "They f asterisk 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 you up, your mum and dad, they may not mean to, but they do." Philip Larkin. Philip Larkin was an influential English poet known for his accessible yet profound verse. "This Be the Verse" is one of his most celebrated poems, reflecting on themes of family influence and human suffering with characteristic wit and cynicism. What is the UHF wireless technology developed by Ericsson in 1994 for data transfer between devices in close proximity? Bluetooth. Bluetooth is a short-range wireless technology standard used for exchanging data between fixed and mobile devices over short distances. It was developed by Ericsson in 1994 and is widely used for creating personal area networks, PANs, and connecting various accessories like headsets, keyboards, and speakers. What is the 1C magenta, which, at $20 million, became the most expensive man-made object ever in terms of weight to value? Postage stamp. The British Guiana 1-cent magenta is one of the world's rarest and most valuable postage stamps, issued in 1856. Its immense value stems from its unique status as the only surviving example of its kind, making it a highly coveted item among philatelists. A circular partner-swapping ballroom dance, named after a 1700s maritime leader, is the Paul Jones. The Paul Jones is a social dance, often performed at balls and parties, where partners continuously change in a circular formation. It is said to be named after John Paul Jones, a famous naval commander during the American Revolutionary War. The Stone Age was roughly how many years ago? 4-5,000. The Stone Age is a broad prehistoric period when stone was widely used to make tools with an edge, a point, or a percussion surface. While the Stone Age began approximately 3.4 million years ago, its end varied geographically, transitioning to the Bronze Age around 4000 to 2000 BCE in many regions, which aligns with the 4 to 5000 years ago time frame for its conclusion. Originally a French portmanteau word combining a shoe and boot, what means willfully destroy. Sabotage. The term sabotage describes the deliberate destruction, damage, or obstruction of something, especially for political or military advantage. Its origin is debated but is often linked to French workers in the early industrial era who supposedly threw their wooden shoes, sabots, into machinery to disrupt production. What is the recurring number when 2/3 is expressed as a decimal? 6. When 2/3 is expressed as a decimal, it results in a repeating decimal, 0.666. In this representation, the digit 6 recurs infinitely. This illustrates a fundamental concept of converting fractions to decimals, where some fractions produce terminating decimals and others produce non-terminating, repeating decimals. Which controversial Swiss sports head, accused of racism, sexism and corruption 1990s to 2000s, was once president of the World Society of Friends of Suspenders, which advocated women should not replace stockings and suspenders with pantyhose? Sepp Blatter. Sepp Blatter is a controversial Swiss former football administrator who served as the 8th president of FIFA from 1998 to 2015. His tenure was marred by numerous allegations of corruption, racism, and sexism, leading to his eventual ban from all football-related activities. The mention of his role in the World Society of Friends of Suspenders highlights his peculiar conservative views on women's attire. Bambino is the family trust of which controversial business mogul, subject to criminal proceedings in Germany 2014? Bernie Ecclestone. Bernie Ecclestone is a British business magnate who was formerly the chief executive of the Formula One Group. Known for his powerful influence in motorsports, he has faced various legal challenges, including criminal proceedings in Germany in 2014 related to bribery. The Bambino Trust is a family trust associated with him, holding significant assets. What pollen-receiving part of a flower also refers to negative perceptions and historical Christian imagery? Stigma. The stigma is the receptive apex of the carpels in the pistil of a flower, crucial for receiving pollen during plant reproduction. Beyond its botanical meaning, the term stigma also denotes a mark of disgrace or a distinguishing mark of shame. Historically, in a Christian context, stigmata referred to marks corresponding to those left on Jesus' body by the crucifixion. In 2014, what revenues did the European Union require member states to incorporate into national economic reporting for GDP calculations? Drug dealing and prostitution. In 2014, the European Union mandated that its member states include estimates for illegal activities such as drug dealing and prostitution when calculating their gross domestic product, GDP. This measure aimed to provide a more comprehensive, though controversial, assessment of a nation's total economic output and activity. What is the location of the headquarters of FIFA? Zurich. The Fédération Internationale de Football Association, FIFA, is the international governing body of association football, futsal, and beach soccer. Its headquarters are located in Zurich, Switzerland, a country known for hosting numerous international organizations. What significant mutual event coincided with the 1969 World Cup qualifying matches between El Salvador and Honduras? War, the Football War. The 1969 Football War, also known as the Soccer War, was a brief but violent conflict between El Salvador and Honduras. Tensions, primarily driven by land reform, immigration issues, and unresolved border disputes, escalated into open warfare after contentious matches during the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Since what year has soccer been included as an Olympic event? 1900. Association football, soccer, made its debut as an official Olympic sport at the 1900 Paris Games. Since then, it has been a regular feature, albeit with various age restrictions for men's teams, while women's football was added much later in 1996. Waterloo, the location of Napoleon's 1815 defeat, is in modern day Belgium. The Battle of Waterloo, fought on June 18, 1815, marked the final defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte. This pivotal battle took place near Waterloo in present-day Belgium, ending Napoleon's rule and his 100 days return from exile. Name the core specialism of notable Anglo-Danish industrialist Sir Ower Nyquist Arup, 1895 to 1988, and the global corporation he created. Structural engineering. Sir Ower Arup was a prominent Anglo-Danish engineer and philosopher who founded Arup Group, a multinational professional services firm. He is renowned for his pioneering work in structural engineering, contributing to many iconic architectural projects worldwide. Calabria, flanked by the Tyrrhenian and Ionian Seas, is the southern peninsula of which country? Italy. Calabria is a region in southern Italy, forming the toe of the Italian peninsula. It is bordered by the Tyrrhenian Sea to the west and the Ionian Sea to the east, making it a region of significant geographical and historical importance. In the 1920s, Japanese and Austrian physicians Kyusaku Ogino and Hermann Naas devised the contraceptive method popularly known as rhythm method. The rhythm method, also known as the calendar method or Ogino-Naas method, is a form of natural family planning. Developed by Kyusaku Ogino and Hermann Naas in the 1920s, it involves calculating fertile and infertile periods based on a woman's menstrual cycle to prevent or achieve pregnancy. What boom caused gross exploitation of native people of Brazil and adjacent nations by European industrialists c.1879-1912? Rubber boom. The Amazon rubber boom, primarily between 1879 and 1912, led to immense wealth for European industrialists but caused severe exploitation and devastation for the indigenous populations of Brazil and neighboring countries. The demand for rubber for industrialization fueled forced labor and widespread human rights abuses in the Amazon basin. The artists Monet, Manet, Degas, and Cézanne are mainly noted for what style of art? Impressionism. Claude Monet, Edouard Manet, Edgar Degas, and Paul Cézanne were pivotal figures in the Impressionist art movement that emerged in 19th-century France. Impressionism is characterized by small, thin, yet visible brushstrokes, open composition, and an emphasis on accurate depiction of light in its changing qualities. Comprising 100 centavos, what is the currency of Brazil? Real. The real, plural, reis, is the official currency of Brazil, subdivided into 100 centavos. It was introduced in 1994 as part of an economic stabilization plan and is currently one of the strongest currencies in Latin America. What anglicized French word, derived from Latin for place, commonly means, instead, in formal communications? Lieu. The word lieu is an English term borrowed from Old French, originating from the Latin word locus, meaning place. It is frequently used in formal contexts to signify in place of or instead of, as seen in phrases like in lieu of payment. What is the traditional generic name for the 1880s bicycle design that improved upon the penny farthing and largely endures today? Safety bicycle. The safety bicycle revolutionized cycling in the 1880s, replacing the dangerous penny farthing with its high front wheel. Its key innovations, including two wheels of equal or near equal size and a chain-driven rear wheel, established the fundamental design that most modern bicycles still follow. What French railway term refers to the bicycle gear system designed for shifting the chain between sprockets? Derailleur. A derailleur is a mechanical component of a bicycle's drivetrain that facilitates gear changes by moving the chain between different sized sprockets. The term is derived from French, where it originally referred to a railway mechanism that caused a train to derail or leave its tracks. Which country produces flying pigeon bicycles, recognized in 2010 as the most popular mechanical vehicle in history? China. The flying pigeon bicycle, manufactured in China, holds the distinction of being the most mass-produced mechanical vehicle in history, with over 500 million units sold by 2010. It played a pivotal role in providing affordable personal transportation during China's rapid industrialization and economic development. What was an early name for a bicycle, and any human-powered wheeled vehicle, a Latin portmanteau of speed and foot? Velocipede. The term velocipede, derived from Latin words for speed, velox, and foot, pes, was an early designation for any human-powered wheeled vehicle, including the precursors to the modern bicycle. It reflects the fundamental concept of using human effort to propel a vehicle for faster travel than walking. A penny farthing, high wheel, bicycle is steered by which wheels? Front. The penny farthing, a high-wheel bicycle popular in the late 19th century, featured a very large front wheel directly driven by pedals. Steering was exclusively controlled by turning this oversized front wheel. What bicycle part converts reciprocal leg power into circular wheel motion? Crank. The crank is a fundamental component in a bicycle's drivetrain, converting the reciprocating, up and down, motion of the rider's legs into the circular rotational power needed to drive the wheels. This mechanical conversion is essential for propulsion. Who was stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles in October 2012 due to doping? Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong was stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles in October 2012 following a USADA investigation that confirmed widespread doping. This scandal highlighted the pervasive issue of performance-enhancing drugs in professional cycling and led to a significant re-evaluation of ethical standards in competitive sports. What French word commonly refers to a bunch or pack of cyclists? Peloton. The term peloton refers to the main group or pack of riders in a bicycle race, particularly in road cycling. Riding in a peloton is crucial for energy conservation due to reduced air resistance, allowing cyclists to maintain higher speeds with less effort compared to riding alone. Drop, randonneur, porteur, aero and moustache are types of bicycle what? Handlebars. These terms refer to various styles of bicycle handlebars, each designed for specific riding positions, comfort, and aerodynamic performance. The choice of handlebar type significantly influences a rider's posture and control. The French medieval term jungler refers to the trade of entertainer. A jungler was a medieval itinerant entertainer who performed music, juggling, acrobatics, and storytelling. They were an important part of popular culture in medieval Europe, often moving between noble courts and public fairs. A loggia is a room or gallery characterized by the absence of external wall. A loggia is an architectural feature, often found in Italian architecture, which is a covered exterior corridor or gallery. It is open on one or more sides, usually supported by columns or arches, providing an outdoor living space while being sheltered from the elements. Technically, flash point refers to the triggering of what aspect of a volatile substance? Vaporization. The flash point of a volatile substance is the lowest temperature at which its vapors ignite in air when an ignition source is present. This phenomenon is directly related to the substance's vaporization, as a sufficient concentration of flammable vapors must be present to form an ignitable mixture with air. Sitka wood, named after the Alaskan town, is a type of spruce. Sitka spruce, Pisca sitchensis, is a large coniferous tree native to the Pacific Northwest region of North America, named after Sitka, Alaska. Its wood is highly valued for its strength-to-weight ratio and resonance, making it popular in aircraft construction, boat building, and musical instruments. The armistice of the First World War was signed in Compagnie Internationale des Wagons Lits 2419, which was a railway carriage. The armistice of the 11th of November 1918, which concluded the fighting on the Western Front in World War I, was signed in Marshal Ferdinand Foch's private railway carriage. This specific railway car, numbered Compagnie Internationale des Wagons Lits 2419, later gained notoriety when it was deliberately used by Adolf Hitler for the signing of the 1940 French armistice. Boulevard Périphérique is the famous, what, of Paris? Ring Road. The Boulevard Périphérique is Paris' major controlled access dual carriageway that encircles the city, serving as its primary ring road. It is one of the busiest urban motorways in Europe, playing a crucial role in traffic management and defining the administrative boundaries of central Paris. Gargoyles on buildings traditionally serve what functional purpose? Supporting guttering. Gargoyles are sculpted grotesque figures, often found on medieval buildings, particularly churches. While visually striking and symbolic, their primary architectural function is utilitarian: to convey water from a roof and away from the side of the building, preventing rainwater from running down and eroding the masonry walls and mortar. A longhorned grasshopper or bush cricket is also commonly known as a katydid. Katydids are insects belonging to the family Tetigoniidae, also commonly known as bush crickets or long-horned grasshoppers. They are distinguished by their exceptionally long antennae, which can often exceed their body length, and are well known for the distinctive sounds they produce through stridulation. What type of information is primarily offered by a gazetteer? Geography. A gazetteer is a geographical dictionary or index, containing descriptions and statistics about places, typically arranged alphabetically. It provides detailed information on geographical features, cities, and other localities, often complementing maps and atlases. Which famous French anti-ship missile, designed in the 1970s, means flying fish? Exocet. The Exocet is a French-built anti-ship missile developed by MBDA, first deployed in the 1970s. It became widely known during the Falklands War for its effectiveness. The name, Exocet, is French for flying fish, reflecting its characteristic sea-skimming flight trajectory. Identify the capital city established in 1913, designed by Chicago architects Walter Burley and Marion Mahoney Griffin, located at 35 degrees 18 feet 27, S 149 degrees 07, 28, E, and home to the ACT Brumbies Rugby Union Club. Canberra. Canberra is the capital city of Australia, uniquely designed by American architects Walter Burley Griffin and Marion Mahoney Griffin, whose plan was chosen in an international competition in 1912. Established in 1913, the city is a meticulously planned metropolis, balancing urban development with natural landscapes. After international electronic surveillance revelations in 2014, what did German government officials reportedly revert to using for sensitive communications? Typewriters. Following significant international electronic surveillance revelations in 2014, German government officials reportedly considered using or reverted to typewriters for highly sensitive communications. This move aimed to enhance security against digital eavesdropping, as typewritten documents are not digitally transmissible or easily intercepted. What metalwork process generally extracts a metal from its ore? Smelting. Smelting is a high-temperature metallurgical process that extracts a metal from its ore. It involves heating the ore, often with a reducing agent like carbon, to separate the desired metal from other elements and impurities present in the ore. Which country is the largest global producer of garlic? China. China is overwhelmingly the world's largest producer of garlic, accounting for a vast majority of the global supply. Its extensive agricultural capacity and favorable climate conditions enable it to produce significantly more garlic than any other nation, making it a major exporter. In 2014, San Francisco banned a phone application that allowed people to sell which specific public resource? Metered car parking spaces. In 2014, San Francisco banned a phone application designed to allow users to sell or auction off public metered parking spaces they were vacating. The city cited concerns that the app created an unfair secondary market for public resources, potentially exacerbating parking difficulties and encouraging predatory behavior. Jam, wing, acorn, tea, and hex are types of what? Nut. These terms refer to various types of nuts, which are mechanical fasteners used to secure bolts or other threaded items. Each type, such as jam, wing, acorn, tea, and hex nuts, is designed for specific applications based on its shape and function in engineering. The eminent British economist Richard Layard is noted for pioneering work on happiness. Richard Layard, a prominent British economist, is renowned for his pioneering research in the field of happiness economics. His work emphasizes the importance of well-being and factors beyond material wealth in determining societal prosperity. The Berlin S-Bahn is what sort of system? Railway. The Berlin S-Bahn is a major component of the public transportation system in Berlin, Germany. It is primarily an urban and suburban railway network, distinguishing itself from the U-Bahn, underground metro, by operating largely above ground and connecting broader metropolitan areas. As at the early 2000s, 2012 official figures, what country was the world's biggest wine producer? France. For the period spanning the early 2000s, 2000 to 2012, France consistently held the position as the world's largest producer of wine. This dominance is attributed to its rich viticultural history, diverse wine regions, and strong export market. The speed of sound in a vacuum is 0. Sound is a mechanical wave that requires a medium for its propagation, such as air, water, or solids. In a vacuum, there are no particles to transmit these vibrations, hence the speed of sound in a vacuum is 0. What parts of the human body are surrounded by protective skin called the aponychium and paronychium? Nails. The aponychium, commonly known as the cuticle, and the paronychium are specialized folds of skin that protect the nails on human fingers and toes. They form a barrier against bacteria and trauma, ensuring the health and integrity of the nail matrix and surrounding tissues. The Ebola disease is named after an African river. The Ebola virus disease, first identified in 1976, is named after the Ebola River in the Democratic Republic of Congo, formerly Zaire. The initial outbreaks occurred near this river, leading to its adoption as the disease's nomenclature. A mattock is used mainly for digging. A mattock is a heavy hand tool primarily designed for powerful digging and chopping, particularly in hard or stony ground or for grubbing out roots. It typically features a head with two ends, an adze-like blade for chopping and a pickaxe-like blade for breaking up soil. The adjacent African nations of Ivory Coast, Ghana, Togo, and Benin have coastlines facing which direction? South. These West African nations are situated along the Gulf of Guinea, an arm of the Atlantic Ocean. Their coastlines primarily run in an east-west direction, thus facing south towards the equator. This geographical orientation is important for understanding regional climate and trade routes. Which large feline animal reportedly had over 5,000 individuals in private ownership in the USA as of the mid-2010s, significantly outnumbering its global wild population of approximately 3,000. Tiger. This statistic highlights a significant conservation paradox where more tigers are held in private hands, often without proper regulation, than exist in the wild. This raises serious concerns about animal welfare, illegal wildlife trade, and the effectiveness of global conservation efforts for this endangered species. Likud, Yesh Atit, and Sahas are prominent political parties in which country? Israel. These parties represent different ideological and religious factions within Israel's parliamentary democracy. Likud is a major right-wing party, Yesh Atit is a centrist liberal party, and Sahas is an ultra-orthodox religious party, reflecting the diverse political landscape of the nation. In 2014, the UK government faced criticism for using the term mitochondrial transfer as a euphemism to downplay controversy surrounding the genetic modification of which biological entities? Human babies. Mitochondrial transfer, often referred to as three-parent babies technique, aims to prevent the transmission of certain genetic diseases from mother to child. The controversy arises because it involves altering the genetic makeup of a human embryo, leading to ethical debates about germline modification and its long-term implications for future generations. What technical term refers to an arrangement where documents or money are held by a neutral third party until specific conditions of an agreement between two other parties are met? Escrow. An escrow account or service provides security in transactions by ensuring that funds or assets are only released once all agreed upon terms are satisfied. This mechanism minimizes risk for both buyer and seller, commonly used in real estate, mergers, and other significant financial transactions. In biochemistry, what common substance does the suffix "-ose" usually denote? Sugar. In biochemistry, the suffix "-ose" is commonly used to denote carbohydrates or sugars. Examples include glucose, fructose, and sucrose, all of which are essential biomolecules serving as energy sources or structural components in living organisms. The word "scourge", meaning a cause of suffering, is metaphorically derived from which instrument of punishment? Whip. The word "scourge", meaning a cause of great suffering, is metaphorically derived from the whip. A scourge was an instrument of punishment, historically used to inflict severe pain through lashing, thereby giving rise to the modern metaphorical meaning of anything that causes widespread affliction or distress. U.S. engineer and industrialist George Pullman, 1831–1897, is eponymously associated with which mode of travel? Rail. George Pullman was a prominent American engineer and industrialist best known for designing and manufacturing the Pullman sleeping car and for founding the company town of Pullman, Illinois. His innovations significantly revolutionized rail travel by introducing luxurious and comfortable accommodations, thus associating his name eponymously with railway transport. Acetylsalicylic acid is better known by what Bayer trademark? Aspirin. Acetylsalicylic acid is the chemical name for aspirin, a common non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, NSAID, used for pain relief, fever reduction, and anti-inflammatory purposes. It was first synthesized by Felix Hoffmann at Bayer in 1897. What literally connects Vikramshila Setu, Rajendra Setu, Mahatma Gandhi Setu and Farakka Barrage? The Ganges. The Ganges, Ganga, is a transboundary river of Asia which flows through India and Bangladesh. The mentioned structures are all significant infrastructure projects built across the Ganges, highlighting its importance for connectivity and water management in India.